Howdy. These are truths that I must tell you and get off my chest so I can sleep tonight. Sometimes beer isn't enough. Trust nowadays is not easy to come by or easy to give to somebody, is it? But for me, I trust females least of all. I have a few close friends that I trust 100%. And I mostly trust the females in my immediate family, but not the ones that have been introduced into the family. And I hear you say, well, you're a bit biased, aren't you? Think about it. Not even females trust other females, do they? Because they know what they're like. And I don't believe that men are as stupid as they're portrayed, especially in all those sitcoms where the man was really dumb and stupid and the woman was the smart one and was always getting him out of trouble. Of course, in the reality world, it's actually the other way around. And you people are probably saying, well, why do men let these females manipulate them so much? A lot of these men know they're being manipulated. They know when the woman turns on the tears, or she blatantly lies about something. But he forgives her because he cares. And there's married men right now, and long-term girlfriends with guys, and they know they're being manipulated lots of times. But they let it pass because they care for her. But more importantly, they feel sorry for her. Of course, that's just another manipulation by the female. And in time, the female will just drop the man like a hot potato, and it will be absolutely devastating to the man. But at least he now is a man that is aware and awake. Unknowingly, this female has created a red pill. And I think it's fair to say that everybody knows that females are quite emotional, more so different times of the month. But they still put these females in these powerful positions that emotionally they really can't handle and make bad decisions a lot. And we see the effects of it every day. We are now hiring people for a job specifically because of their gender or their sexual preference, or their nationality, or what ethnic community they belong to, what political beliefs they have, and not because they're the right person for that job, or in fact, the best person for that job. Just like that Biden guy, who's going to pick his running mate. He's going to pick a female, and one from an ethnic community, not because they're qualified and the best person for the job. And that, of course, is one of the main reasons why the Western world and everything is in such a mess. They're hiring the wrong people. They're hiring people that are no good at the job. They're unqualified. That's why nothing gets done. And if it is done, it isn't done properly. Another perfect example is in the UK, the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, absolutely the worst person for the job, and has proved it time and time again. I mean, remember the days you used to take your CV or whatever you call it over there, and you handed it in and you got onto the sort of short list, and then you had an interview, and then you had maybe a second interview, and even sometimes a third interview. And the people would look at the CVs and how you got on and talking with them, and they would pick the best person for the job, regardless of what color you were, what nationality you were, and your political beliefs. And I believe it worked very well. For those guys who are still married out there and happen to be listening to this, or have long-term girlfriends they're living with, make some changes, because your life is just as important as anybody else's. But also, make an escape plan. The worst case scenario. It may never happen, but if it does, at least you'll have some form of plan. Here's a terrible story I know. As you know, I lived in Asia. I knew a friend of mine that I met over there. He was with a Thai female. He married this Thai female. He went back to England alone, sold his house and everything, went back to Thailand, bought some land, built a house. It was a lovely house. After some time, he had to go back to England to sort a few things out. When he came back to Thailand, he found his wife had disappeared and his house had been sold. Everything he had lost, including his tilak. That is not a rare story, by the way, and it doesn't just happen in Thailand. Sometimes change will never happen unless you do it yourself. Oh, I feel so much better after that. I feel very tired. I haven't slept for 2 weeks. Good night, guys.